Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload, and today it is a game between Teardrop and Sinner as part of a twofer master level compilation. In the top left corner of Abyssal Reef the Ladder Edition, we have the Red Zerg player. It is Teardrop, who also goes by Voltz. And in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, it is the Blue Terran player from Dust Gaming. It is Sinner. So let's take a look and see how this is going to work out as ZVT here on Abyssal Reef at a very high level of StarCraft competition indeed. So welcome to your Sunday. Should be a good one. Let's see, what is this Sunday all about? Is there anything going on? I should be casting with Gauntlet. I know I say that every week and it's kind of hit and miss. But Gauntlet SC2 on Twitch. You can see me likely casting with just Jordan or possibly Sure Shaddai. Either way, should be a great time with Gauntlet Global Opens. $50 grand prize to those who make it all the way to the end of the tournament. We get some amazing up-and-coming talent, some amazing established talent as well. So check it out. If you follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/FalconPaladin and facebook.com/FalconPaladin, you can see exactly when I am casting, because when it's about to start, I'll start tweeting links to it and all of that. That'll be the confirmation, because I have about a week buffer on my casts, and it's just, I try to look into the future, but sometimes I can't. Sometimes I cannot do it. Alright, so where are we going? Barracks here, done for Sinner. He is going for a Reaper, so let's get that Reaper name list out and ready to go. You know what I'm feeling? I'm feeling like maybe it's time for a longer Reaper name today. Is that something you guys might be moderately interested in? I don't know. I don't know. So, let's see. Pretty sure we did that one already. Did that one already. I need to start deleting some of these. Here it is. The Forgotten. This creature is the conglomeration of all the forgotten souls who have died in Brood War games at the hands of Zerg. They died by the thousands. Hold on. Let me get this guy. There he is. By the thousands, using their blood to soak the soil of the battlefield, and for what? So their commanders could take all the glory while their remains rotted? They would not stand for this. Together, the souls created one single entity out of parts of their corpses. This new creature, warped with hate and supernatural power, had only one directive: kill everything. Wow, that's a good directive. This creature spent years hunting down the former commanders of the souls before finally he slit the throat of the final commander. With his task completed, the creature had no purpose and went into a rage, using its enhanced skills to kill anyone who came near it. The souls saw that the creature needed a task that it could work for but never be able to complete, or else it would continue its killing spree. After 2 months of thinking, the souls finally came up with a task. They told the Reaper he was to destroy all Zerg and create an army of the undead to aid him. The souls thought he would be unable to do the second part, even if he managed to wipe out the swarm, but the souls underestimated their own power. You see as the Forgotten getting chased around the creep here by 4 lings. Good placement, actually, there by Teardrop and or Voltz. They created the Reaper. They imbued him with an extra large portion of their combined powers, and this extra power could be split into smaller pieces in order to reanimate corpses and give them a very basic consciousness. So over many years, the Reaper created his army, raiding Terran settlements for fresh corpses, and even stitching together Protoss and Zerg flesh to create human-shaped bodies. Now with his new army of animated corpses, he takes the fight, if the opponent is Zerg, to the Swarm, to a mercenary band of Terrans whose weapons and armor will greatly bolster his forces. Dang. So he's fighting the Swarm here. He's trying to kill all of the Zerg. It's one heck of a task there, the Forgotten. Tank on the way for Sinner, getting a couple of Marines, 2 medevacs in production, and a 3rd hatch on the way from Voltz here to the right of his natural. He has not taken the traditional 3rd base location, kind of heading out towards the right side of the map, which is something I don't think I've seen in a TVZ on this map before. So whatever he's planning should be interesting. I guess maybe he doesn't want the drop potential, dropping from this potential 3rd base location into the main and back again. You kind of have it here, don't you? You kind of do. What did that scan reveal? Scan did not reveal much. Yeah, our Terran player Sinner is a little bit in the dark right now. That's going to be all right. So many queens and so many creep tumors from Voltz right here, though. Check him out. Tossing down creep all over the place. Going to try to connect his bases with the rest of the map. Essentially, Slow Overlord getting chased around by a Viking here close to Sinner's base. Small 1 medevac drop showing up. Oh, they're going to go after this base that doesn't exist. Brilliant play by Voltz, actually. And now they've wasted time. Oh, no. They've wasted time. Where would that 3rd base be? They ask themselves. I don't know. This Overlord is actually flying into the Viking as though he welcomes death. And the drop for Sinner is now going to find this base. But these queens are here. I mean, there are 6 of them. And sure, there are 8 Marines, but that's not good. There's link support here, too, from Voltz. So, excellent job getting the heck out, Sinner. This is a weird, weird thing. Look at these creep tumors that Voltz wants to toss down. Are you kidding right now? How many? He's got 5 in production, 6 in production. He's trying to get more. Do these queens have enough energy for all of these? No. Some of them don't. They were told to throw it on creep tumors, but they couldn't do it. That's okay. Still, I mean, he just tossed down like 8 creep tumors at once. Zerglings making sure this drop has a hard time. Queen's getting some shots off there, too. Sinner very smartly getting the heck out of there, dropping in a place where he can heal up and pick off an Overlord. Supply blocking Voltz. Blue Flame on the way from Sinner. And he's going to toss down a third base of his own right here. Zerglings trying to get rid of these Marines, but actually doing a pretty good job. No Marines have died so far. Okay, 3 of them have died so far, but not in that attack. And against these Queens, it's not a good fair fight. These Queens have a lot of HP and some pretty good DPS, assuming the Marines are not fully upgraded, as they're not. There are no upgrades done for any Marines, as Sinner's going mech. He's got vehicle weapons and Terran vehicle and ship plating level 1 on the way. Meanwhile, Evolution Chamber number 2 is on the way for Teardrop. There it is. It is popping right now. A lair is done, and a Hydralisk Den coming in for him too. Cyclical hooks being researched by Voltz, and we're at 3 base to 3 base right now. 58 to 51 harvesters. Voltz is up, but Sinner should be able to catch up fairly soon with the use of these 3 orbital commands. Yeah, his third's an orbital command. It's not even a planetary fortress. That's interesting. That is extremely interesting. I say. All right. Regardless, Viking flying around for Sinner, trying to see what's going on. And everybody just kind of chilling here at about the 7-minute mark. 8 hiders in production for Voltz. He's going to plan to use those to great effect at some point. Maybe making them lurkers. Which, I don't know. Maybe not that great against mech. Yes, they get bonus against armored stuff, but tanks with range kind of wreck them. Even tanks without range are pretty good. And a 4th base on the way from Voltz just south of his main. Creep spread, again, looking absolutely disgustingly crazy right now. Who is this guy? 69, 70 creep tumors spreading at 7 minutes. For the creep spread to be this far on all these different areas of the map is actually kind of insane. Has Sinner killed any creep tumors? He hasn't killed a single one in this entire game. He's got to start doing it. It's going to go real badly for him. Hellions trying to sneak up this right side to go attack a base, but guess what? There's creep everywhere, dude. You will be spotted in seconds, like, for example, right now. I guess the Overlord scouted that one, though. Is that Diva? Hey, Diva. How's it going? I don't know why she said it was so old school, but Hydra, Baneling, Ling versus these Hellions. And Sinner's trying to mech, which means you need to harass with these Hellions as best you can until your giant mech army is built, but not going so well. They couldn't even really get onto the creep there. And again, the creep is so far. So far. Oh, as the Forgotten gets picked off there, patrolling behind these rocks, the Hiders are picking off from a distance. Hellions, I don't know, man. I don't think you want to be here, Hellions. Seems like a bad idea. These Banelings have speed. They got +1 armor. They're hard to kill. The Hydralisks also have +1/+1. Trying to take a 4th base with some refineries here is Sinner, but no. Not allowed. Banelings rolling into these Hellbats, obliterating the Hellbats. There are 4 tanks. The Hydras don't care, man. Hydras are coming in. They're going to pick off 2 of the tanks. Can they get the 3rd and the 4th? I think they can. These Hydras, there are enough of them. This 3rd base for Sinner's in a lot of trouble. Banelings making huge connections. Oh, the SCV is picked up at the last second by Sinner's medevac. Tanks on the high ground here from the main are trying to clear out the Zerg infestation here, but that is a lot of dead stuff for Sinner. That's going to be 5,000 resources lost compared to about 5, so fairly even, but losing that 3rd base was a massive blow to Sinner's attempts to go for some kind of a 3-4 base mech thing. His tank count is very nice, though. It is currently 6, and Lings and Hydras keep running in here. It is like a death area of death right about here, so don't ever come here, Zerg players. Anyway, pulls out. He's got his 4th base, running very, very happily, getting extractors on those assimilators, and is an infestation pit on the way at about 9.5 minutes from Voltz. Continuing to creep spread across the map. And here comes a Viking for Sinner. What's he going to do? Ah, Swarm Host. 8 Swarm Host at once here. Man, he killed that third base, and he has enough money to go for 8 Swarm Hosts at once, sub 10 minutes. This is a pretty good macro on display from the Zerg player. APM 280 for Voltz, about 267. Well, exactly 267 for Sinner. Hydra's again trying to sneak on in here, but this tank count again is just too much. When there are 3 or 4 tanks, sure. But this is currently 8. It's just too many. You're not going to attack into here at all. Sinner needs to get his third base up and running immediately. He is getting 2 command centers at once, which I don't know if he's going to be able to hold. This creep spread again, just absolutely continuing to push in many, many, many different directions. The Swarm Hosts are here. Zerglings are trying to knock down this set of rocks. They don't have any attack upgrades. It will take them literally forever. Okay, figuratively forever to get there. Although, didn't they change the dictionary so that literally means figuratively now? It's... Anyway, language is crazy. I know it changes, but it doesn't often change to mean the exact opposite of what it originally meant, right? Medevac, a scouting Medevac sees these Swarm Hosts, but is it too late? Popping some Locusts, and the SCVs run in time. So good job, Medevac. Doesn't even have anything in it. Just empty Medevac scouting this out and trying to set up shop. Locust going after supply depots. Oh, Blue Flame Hellbats roasting. Look at all those roasted little Locusts. Delicious. They look kind of like roasted pumpkin seeds, don't they? Plus 3 vehicle weapons being researched by Sinner right now. This is really dangerous stuff for Voltz, but he's bringing more and more Swarm Hosts over here, dropping some Hellbats on top of these guys. Get out of this spot. No one likes your style. Some Locusts do chase them away, or at least help them get lifted off, unless one of them can't escape. 9 hit points on that Hellbat, and he does escape. He's fast enough to waddle away from a Locust off creep anyway. Another huge group of Swarm Hosts coming into this natural base. Once again, SCV's forced to flee. Locust forcing a lift off on that natural command center, but once again, just let the barbecues roll. That's a good animation. I like that. Locusts getting roasted to death. They kind of turn into these little glowy Christmas balls of dead stuff. It's not a good Christmas thing. Spire getting planted by Voltz. +3/+3 now on the way for Sinner. Trying to get a 4th base down. His 3rd base is happily up and running. Here come the Locusts, though, man. The Locusts are pretty much going to be never-ending, I feel, at this point. How can Sinner handle this is the question of the day. He's got Vikings to kill him in the sky, and these Locusts, once they land, they're just toasty. They just get roasty toasted by these +2 napalm spray Hellbats. This is a large group of Locusts, though. I don't know about this one. They're forcing a liftoff on that 4th base anyway. And they are taking out a couple Hellbats, but look at the glowing embers of those Locust corpses. Couple Hydras here. They've got the +2/+2, but against tanks with +2/+2, not going to happen. I'm very, very sorry. Sinner decides it's time to push out with his mech. He's got Hellbats. He's got tanks. He's got Medevacs. And here comes another swarm of Locusts. I'd number these if I didn't think they were going to be essentially infinite in this game. Are they going to kill anything? I don't think they're killing anything. Sinner's Hellbats are in the front. They are very well positioned to handle this. 39 splash damage versus these Locusts when the Locusts only have 50 HP. I mean, look at these guys go. They got a tank. I think they got a tank. Seems pretty nice, but this 3rd base of Voltz is in a lot of trouble right now. There are tanks, there are Liberators, there are Vikings. All the drones have been forced to flee. Drone corpses glowing on the ground there too. A couple Locusts coming in just to distract, I have to assume, because that 3rd base is gone. And it is. Broodlings getting instantly evaporated. I just don't think they have enough HP to really survive any kind of napalm attack, actually. And it's 163 to 200 supply. So Voltz is up, but a lot of his supply is tied into these Swarm Hosts, and I'm not sure how much damage they're doing right now. This is just kind of mass Swarm Host. Oh my goodness. This is a lot of Locusts, though. Ooh, dropping on down. And can they do it? They're getting, again, some kills, but also just getting killed very quickly. Zerglings are worse, I think, in this situation. Forcing a cancel on that 4th base, or a 5th base, rather, that Voltz is trying to get down. And Sinner's pushing in here strong, you guys. He going strong into that Evolution Chamber. Another Evolution Chamber going to go down. Baneling Nest going to die. And Liberators have set up shop here too. Natural base for Voltz is absolutely out, you guys. I don't see him being able to save this at all. Sinner's playing this extremely well. He is a very good player. Very good player for Dust Gaming. I'm not surprised by this in the tiniest bit. Natural base gone. Excellent job here by the Terran player. Another horde of Locusts. This might be too many. Sinner does pick up and boost out. There's a flock of mutas here too. 156 to 179 total supply. Sinner pulls back, but he killed 3 bases during that attack. Woo! There's still 2 mining bases here from Voltz, but essentially Sinner's on 3. Which, if you have more bases mining than your Zerg opponent, you're pretty pleased with yourself. Greater Spire coming in for the Voltz, likely going to be for the Broodlords. I don't know why else you would get a Greater Spire, for being honest with ourselves. And I think it's good to be honest with ourselves, isn't it? It is. Mutalisks trying to fly into this 4th base, but there are some 2 missile turrets with the repair. It means the mutas can't really do much. I mean, sure, you can try to pick off a couple SCVs here and there, but every shot of those missile turrets just hurts. 24 damage per shot. Really fast weapon speed here, too. No, 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 save the missile turret. Where are you guys going? Oh, snap. Wow, the Locust drop of the natural. The army not quite in position here. Forcing another liftoff. How many SCVs have been killed? 39. Mutalisks having their way. Oh, just kidding. Thors have shown up. 3 Thors with +3 attack. 9 damage times, or 18 damage times 4 versus light. And splash 2. Thors are pretty good anti-air when they have those good of upgrades against mutas. That's absolutely for sure. Any upgrades at all for the mutas? No. No, there is not from Voltz, but continuing to hit. There is a small drop of Hellbats here at Voltz's 4th base. Just roasting up these drones. Don't mind us. Just trying to kill your spine crawler too. But again, the Locusts are just like zombies. They just keep coming and coming and coming and coming, and they're slow, but they hit hard if they're near you. And look at them go against this mech. Are these guys still alive? 9 kills on this Hellbat. 26 kills on this Hellbat. What is happening? Gonna try to drop here into this new 4th base. Rawr, blue flaming it. A couple of Locusts show up. Drones here to fight too. Queens gonna pick off that medevac at the very least. They do get the medevac, and now the Hellbats are truly stuck. But 34 kills on this Hellbat. Can he get any more? I don't know, but guess who's here? Most of the army for Sinner. Tanks and Thors and Hellions in the back. You want them in the front. You want them in the front. Mutalisks here at the 3rd base of Sinner. Taking out a missile turret. Reaction time, not great. There's only 1 muta remaining, though. I'm not sure how much damage can get done there by the Voltz. Another base going down to this army of mech. They're just so good at killing buildings, is what they are. The tanks have that extra damage versus armored. The Thors just hit really hard against everything that has a lot of HP, which is why they're good against big stuff and not so good against lings, because they just waste. They just waste attack power. Is what they do. Big old thing of swarm hosts again, and Locust rolling on in. Can they get it? Doing a lot of work here, actually. They have better upgrades. No, it's still the +2/+2. 198 to 121 total supply. Voltz is absolutely having a great time. Staying pretty much maxed out. This muta is harassing this 3rd base of Sinner and has some kills. Drones transferring. Look at them get through that army unscathed. That was hilarious. Main base in trouble, though, but look at this. Oh, these swarm hosts actually aren't ready to pop their Locusts yet. Do you want to get the hive, maybe? I think the infestation pit is already gone. Now, here we go. Locust swarm! Can Sinner hold on against the onslaught? I don't know. Not looking good, though. Forcing to pick up the remaining Thors. This tank shows up, and I guess is going to hang out a little bit. This Thor. Oh, how many kills do you have, Thors? I don't know, but everybody got picked up there. These tanks, 10 kills, 2 kills there. Thor with. Keep trying to click that Thor and see how many kills he has, but it's impossible. Yeah, 16 kills, 36 kills on these 2 Thors. Picking up that Thor with 1 hit point before it dies. This is a ridiculous attack. Actually, Locusts keep coming down. Mutalisk flying out. Does manage to escape. Did we lose our Thor? Our Thor is still alive. How is our Thor still alive? I don't actually know. Muta's getting picked off. This Viking's having a great time. And slowly but surely pushing Sinner away from that main base. He saved his hive. He lost his Hydralisk den. Did he make it? He's got a new infestation pit, which is good. And Sinner retreating. It's 200 to 111 total supply right now. I mean, this is kind of harkening back to the heart of the Swarm days when Swarm Host versus Mech was a major thing and games lasted for 3.5 hours, and it wasn't great actually. But this game's not at 3.5 hours yet, and I feel like Voltz has a pretty good hang on it. Pretty good handle on it, just with the fact that he's up 200 to 132 supply. Yeah, I think the mining is better for Sinner right now, 2,000 compared to 1,600, but these giant waves of Locusts are just massively problematic for Sinner right now. This 5th base of his is getting absolutely destroyed by these Locusts. A lot of SCVs are dying, too. 73 SCVs have been killed. 58 drones on the other side. Mutalisks harassing here at the 4th base, getting chased away by Vikings and by Thors. Forced to lift off this 5th base, though. Is Sinner land and get healed, I suppose. But, man, these Swarm Hosts, how many kills they have? Actually, not that many by themselves. It's pretty spread out. I mean, when you have 42 Swarm Hosts, no one's going to have that many kills. They're really not. This Locust is just hovering here. Going to expire in midair. Kaboot. Whew. All right, where are we at? Volt's taking another base up at the top section of the map. He hasn't bothered replacing his natural or his 4th, but he is taking the one up top. And Sinner's kind of stuck. I mean, this wave of free units is just having way too good of a time right now. They are outnumbering units on the ground by like 50 to 1. These Hellbats, they used to be pretty good, but not when you're outnumbered that bad. Again, it's a lesson I like to repeat a lot. Just because one unit is good against another unit, if you're outnumbered as the good unit by 50 to 1, it doesn't matter. You're still going to die. That's how that works. Woo! Numbers matter, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so Sinner's got his 4th base reestablished. 5th base has been healed up, repaired up, and is mining again. 41 to 33 total harvesters, but that just means the army can be bigger for Voltz right now. Resources lost. It's going to be 28,000 for Voltz compared to 29 for Sinner. Do Locusts cost his resources lost? I don't think they do. We need to see some of them die, I guess. No, they totally don't. Interesting. I guess maybe those big attacks by Sinner up through the middle where they wiped out several bases of Voltz will count, but don't know. Man, it's been a while. Been a while since I've seen a mass Swarm Host game, especially against Terran. Can't remember the last one of those. I mean, honestly, what are we thinking here? We're thinking another big attack here in the middle. Nope, just kidding. Getting the heck out of there is their Sinner. Sinner heading up north, dropping some Thors on these Swarm Hosts and trying to kill them before those Locusts pop, and then picking them up and getting them out. I mean, how many Swarm Hosts have been killed? 26 have been killed. They're not cheap units either. They're pretty gold darn expensive. Should we check and see exactly how much they are? I just make them 175 per. Considering you need this many of them to be effective, it seems fairly reasonable. Voltz, his creep spread again is still just really, really good. Another bunch of Locusts swarming on in. Liberator trying to kill as many of these as possible. She's got 12 kills. It's a good number. And her buddy's also got 12. Do they both have 12? That's amazing. Absolutely incredible. But yeah, you just can't engage with these guys. You can't do it. Suicide. +3/+3 is coming in on these Locusts. Another Thor drop, actually, this time. Here at this 5th base of Voltz. Thor's trying to kill... Yeah, having a great time with the Spine Crawlers, man. Just don't do well against Thors when they're fully upgraded like this. Static defense is not. So good job. Good attack by the Sinner. Thors, once again, just trying to kill Swarm Host, because the Swarm Host not really supported by much except a couple Queens, which is a good job by Voltz, making sure these guys are not alone. APM 244 for Voltz, 251 for Sinner. These guys are playing fast and they are playing hard. These Locusts coming on in. And the Blue Flame Barbecue is here. That was more to Sinner's liking, but then a million more of them show up and just kind of start to pile up again like zombies at your front door. A couple Hellbats die here and there, but you kill a lot of zombies, but they just never stop coming. They just never stop coming. And this is a sound we've heard about 300 times in this game to this point, sending a few locusts down to this natural base of Sinner. Oh, the SCV transfer is ill-fated. Most of them died. This guy manages to escape. Good job, SCV, as the locusts get roasty toasty. Rousty toasty. Man, I hope my podcast co-caster Wade didn't hear me use that Australian accent. He'd be very embarrassed. Dropping down again. The locust on top of everything. 200 to 117 total supply. This is just the number of locusts that have been killed in this game. Does it even track that? I don't think it does, but it's got to be in the hundreds, if not in the thousands at this point. He just, every time these guys are on cooldown, they're popping their locusts and they're pushing them out. And over a 25-minute game, that's a lot of locusts. It's a lot of locusts. More SCVs getting killed. Somehow, Voltz is down to 18 drones. Is he killing them on purpose to max out his army even more? Seems like he may be doing that. 58 swarm hosts, you guys. 58. He's just sending in little strategic groups of swarm hosts right now. Not sending them in all at a time. This base by Sinner under direct assault by these +3/+3 locusts. 13 damage with a weapon speed of 0.43. That is some of the great DPS. Honestly, in the game, these locusts are. The things you can usually run away from them, but when they're on the offensive, it's difficult. It is difficult to do. I don't know how Sinner deals with all of this. He's got to start killing the swarm hosts, but I don't think he really has any way to do it. Locust trying to get that planetary fortress, can't quite get it before they expire. 280 hit points on that thing, almost dead, but getting repaired. Not that it really matters. I mean, there's no mining going on right now from Sinner. I don't know how he has any income at all. How does that say 167? Now it's 0. Okay, maybe it was just a holdover from some previous stuff that was going on. Locust forcing a liftoff. More SCVs dying here at this 4th base location. I mean, this is it. It's 198 to 106 total supply. Small group of mech here for Sinner. They are fully upgraded. This Thor, 27 kills, 32 kills, but they're very low on HP. Can the Hellbats do it? Can they hold on? It's not going to be enough. The tanks are starting to go. The Thors are starting to go. And that is a rage quit from Sinner. Sinner is defeated. And Voltz is victorious. Oh, gets the win with Mass Ormhost. Haven't seen that in a while. So stick around. We've got one more game from Kawaiian coming up for our little twofer for your Sunday. Resources lost 29,000 for Voltz compared to a full 41,000 from Sinner. 114 SCVs killed compared to 62 drones. Just a slugfest of epic proportions. Really great use of Swarm Host, though. Seriously, from Voltz. Well done, indeed. I'm trying to think exactly of what. Maybe like a mass Banshee kind of a thing from Sinner would have helped. Like a Banshee squad just roving around, killing them. But then you have to worry about mutas and corruptors. I don't know. Would have taken a lot. All right, that's it for game 1. We'll come back with game number 2 in just a second. And welcome back to our non-sneaky twofer, everyone. Game number 2 will be between Kawaiian and Blinky here on Acolyte, the Ladder Edition. This is a GM level game sent to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com. Actually, no. This was over Twitter, twitter.com/falconpaladin. You can find me there and send me your stuff if and you want. I do check the Twitter pretty much every day, if not several times throughout. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have the Red Terran player with the Diva spinning logo. It is Kawaiian from Sloth Esports. What a great organization Sloth is. And in the top right-hand corner of the map, it is the Blue Protoss player, Blinky. Actually, should I know something about Blinky? Let's find something out about Blinky. I just had that thought. Blinky. Like Inky, Blinky, and Clyde from Pac-Man? That's the name of the ghosts, by the way. StarCraft 2. That's how I search. SC2. Not a good sign. It's not bringing anything up. He's got a BattleNet profile. He's got a Twitch thing going on. He's part of the Americas Open from earlier this year. That's good. There's also a Blinky in the LoL, the League of Legends player base. So anyway, Blinky, really good GM player regardless. If you're getting matched up against Kawaiian, you're pretty good at this game. So a PVT for number 2 in this, again, non-sneaky twofer. I honestly couldn't find anything to do for you guys this Sunday. I was trying to find if there were a lot of replays from a Protoss or a Terran player from Montreal, but actually no. It's like Neeb. It's Kelazar. I just did compilations on both those dudes. There's a lot of Zerg players, but I just did a Zerg one too from TLO. So, you have any suggestions for next week? Let me know. What kind of compilation would you like to see? Because I'm all about these GM level high masters games. You see creativity, man. You see creativity out here, I think, more than you'll see from the pro stuff. It's kind of a trade-off, right? The pros are just, they're more skilled, obviously, but they're not as creative in what they do. They know what they're good at, and they kind of stick to it, which is not bad. I'm not telling them that's a terrible thing, but anyway. All right, this Reaper of Kawaiians, who was very, I mean, seriously feeling good about himself. This is Reapy Lannister. A Lannister always repays his debts. Oh, that makes me miss Game of Thrones. Not coming back forever either, you guys. Final season 2. All right, free probe, free probe. Ooh, gets one out in the middle of the open here. That's good. Good kill on Reapy Lannister. Start playing the Reigns of Castamere in here. I was actually curious. So the Reigns of Castamere is the Lannister family song, basically. And it's, ooh, got too close to that photon overcharge, yo. Yeah, can't do that, Reapy. Anyway, the Reigns of Castamere is in the books, obviously, by George R.R. Martin, and the words are there, but obviously he didn't include music to go along with it. He didn't have a staff and write out the notes because that doesn't make any sense for the most part. So the composer of most of the amazing stuff on Game of Thrones that you're familiar with, his name is, oh gosh, what's his name? It's a hard name to remember. Game of Thrones, no. Game of Thrones composer. Do I really? Fine. Yeah. So Ramin Djawadi. That is not easy to say. It's a DJ Djawadi. Anyway, he wrote it. He's just like, you know what? I can make up the song for the Reigns of Castamere. I'll keep the words, but the music is mine. And man, the music, it's just such a haunting tune. This guy's talented. I mean, honestly, to become a composer for a huge prestige network like HBO, you got to be pretty good at what you do. But man, when I found out he's just like, I just sat down and wrote it. I was like, dang, you're good. If you haven't ever heard the Reigns of Castamere, I guess it's probably safe to YouTube that. There's enough people playing it on the piano and the violin and the cello and stuff that you'll be okay. Just don't, if you don't know what it is, I would not recommend like Google searching it, but finding music is fine if you want to know what it is. If you want to hear it for yourself. War Prism immediately here from Blinky. He's going special tactics, man. It is a White Raw tribute time here from Blinky. And honestly, don't all Protoss players secretly want to be White Raw? Don't they? Just a super nice older Russian gentleman. Actually, crap, is he Ukrainian? No, he's... I mean, I'm so racist, right? So racist to say this, but I get them mixed up. Widowmine does fire. On what, actually? Hold on. Ah, okay, an hallucinated Phoenix. I'm like, there's no way there was a Protoss unit here. And there wasn't. It was a hallucination. Yeah, he is Ukrainian. I knew it! I knew it, Waitara. I knew you were Ukrainian. Anyway, a nice older gentleman, Ukrainian. Started getting really famous late. Started the game early. But just full of special tactics and wonder. I'd love to cast more of his games, actually. One of his games is one of the most popular on my channel, which I guess makes sense. I mean, Ukraine is a very popular country. I'm sure he has a lot of fans in Russia, too, which is, again, another huge country. If you just have a lot of people in your nation, you're going to have a lot of fans. Adept drop. Adept War Prism drop here at the natural base of Kawaiian. Get out of there. Widowmine trying to get up to burrow itself to assist, but doesn't actually burrow. Marines and a tank here. These Adepts in a lot of trouble. Widowmine gets in. No, doesn't get in the ground. Almost does before the Adepts kill it. Adept dead. Oh, the Vikings chasing away the War Prism. Excellent job, Viking. Making sure the Adepts cannot get away with it. Well done, Mr. Kawaiian. Additional, that's a 4-gen and Twilight Council on the way from Blinky here at his very safe and natural base, which on this map you probably want to take. Let's My personal recommendation. Warp Prism hanging up here in the top left-hand corner of the map. The Viking is looking for him, though. And I think the Viking is going to get there. Do you have a... Yep. Yep. Excellent scouting here from Kawaiian, by the way. Meanwhile, Hallucinate Phoenix scouting stuff out down here. Warp Prism is... I mean, Warp Prism's dead, right? Really no saving it here. Unless it is faster than the Viking, so it can run for its life. But... I mean, look who's ready for it. There's a missile turret ready for it. There's a couple Marines ready for it here, too. Let's watch this guy in his final moments of his existence, thinking about his family back home, although I think he's just a robot. Can he escape? He actually does. How did that happen? Oh, hallucinated Warp Prism. What? No, real one dies, and the hallucinated one does force Kawaiian back a little bit with some empty medevacs. I don't know what that was. Yeah, Marauder really wants to kill this thing, but recognizing, okay, it can't actually change into warping in mode. So I think we're all right. There it goes. Poof. Poof. He probably saw. Missile turrets can tell what's hallucinated. Observer scouting in this army for Kawaiian. Excellent observer placement by Blinky, by the way. He's got Immortal Stalkers, Adepts here, too. And picking up the tanks. A tank Marine push with +1 attack. Done. The siege tanks don't have any such upgrades, which makes sense. Usually install those upgrades very early for Terran, unless you're really meching it up hard. Templar Archives coming in for Blinky 2. Smart job by him. You need that splash damage against Terran. Sentries in the front, actually catching a tank hit. And one of them is dead. Marines, tanks, making sure there's no fourth base on the way for Blinky. Blinky was thinking about it, but no, this army is pretty much setting up siege. And thinking about flying in. Gonna do it. Gonna fly here into the natural base, but Photon Overcharge up. Stalker's up. No. Can we go to the third here then? Possibly, but that's where the rest of the army is. Good defense here by Blinky. Liberators setting up defender mode circles. Marines, Marauders, and tanks firing on everything that they can see. Adepts just going for it. They don't care. Immortals trying to focus down Marines, which is not great. Oh, and they're dead. Marines and Marauders actually having a great time pushing against these Stalkers. Adepts do show up. The Adepts do have Resonating Glaives, which makes them very scary against this bio. This tank has been doing damage. It has 1 kill, but did a lot of work here. Kawaiian decides to stay in and try to fight, doing some fairly fancy micro, but outnumbered. Once again, Marauders very good against Stalkers, but not when it is 5-1. And the Marauder decides it is time to go home. Liberators pulling back here too. Unfortunately, this is forcing Kawaiian to expand. Protoss is on 3 bases. His 2-base attack did not kill the Protoss player, which is really bad news for him. Also, the Protoss player, given time to get Storm, given time to get Blink, given time to get +1 ground armor, all things that you want, and he's up 59 to 46 Harvesters too. Blinky really in an enviable position here as the Protoss player. What is he chrono boosting exactly? Chrono boosting his 3rd Nexus, chrono boosting, Blink, and +1 armor. Okay, those are the chrono boosts. Not getting Storm, actually. Which is probably okay, because you have to make your High Templar, and they need energy to wait anyway before they can even use Storm, and so chrono boosting out probably not a great idea. Zelnaga Watchtower temporarily held by Blinky, and then Kawaiian decides nobody should have it. How's that sound? Yeah, see, these Templar are out, but they need to wait until they can get enough energy to Storm. Actually, they have enough now. Boy, they probably wish they had Storm right about this second. That's for sure. Is that getting chrono? It is now. Blinky's chrono boosting now as Kawaiian is threatening his front door. Liberators in position. Marching up the ramp is Kawaiian into this. Guardian Shield is up from Blinky. Sentry at the front. Again, at the front. Not exactly where you want to be, but it's a very heavily gateway army here. A couple Storms do chase Kawaiian back. Liberators trying to get shots off, but Blinky doing a good job staying out of that range. Also, again, tank. Part of the mix here. Got 1 kill on him. Another tank in production for Kawaiian. 4th base is established for Blinky. 3rd base just landing for Kawaiian right now. Let's see, can he do it? Is the question of the day. Losing a tank there. Down 138 to 124 supply. Is going on in. Trying to get some stuff done in this natural base. Hoping that Blinky doesn't see it until it's too late. There's the Photon Overcharge. Triple Photon Overcharge. Doing a lot of work here. Pylons are dying. Warping in some Adepts to try to assist with this. Isn't enough. The Mothership Core is dead. And actually, the drop from Kawaiian is continuing apace right now. killing that Adept who's here to stop them. This natural base is not looking so good for Blinky. The entire army is basically forced to come in here and deal with these guys. +1 attack on those Marines, +1/+1 done for the Stalkers and the Adepts, which means Terran is dead. But guess what? Another attack up here. The 4th base of Blinky. Kawaiian doing a great little double-pronged attack here. This is exactly what he needed to do to get back into this game. If he can take down this 4th Nexus, it's going to be huge for him. These Templar are a little bit unsupported, taking some shots from a Marauder. Dude decided to come back in. Going to try to get some Storm stuff down right now. Walking right into these Defender mode circles. Storms on top of everything that Kawaiian has. Excellent Storms, allowing Blinky to really crush through that without too much opposition. But he did lose his 4th Nexus, which is bad for him. And now Blinky feels like he needs to make up some ground. It's 56 to 59 Harvesters. 5 probes have been killed. Only 5 probes. And 3 SCVs have lost their lives in this game. That's insanity. For all the stuff that's been going on inside bases, I'm shocked it's not more. Widowmine does fire and kill a Stalker, as Blinky's Observer is not coming. Does he really not have an Observer? He's okay, it's on the way. It's on the way. Boy, Widowmines are a problem. There's the scan. Kawaiian sees exactly what's coming, and the Blink Stalkers blink forward, try to pick off a couple of these medevacs, getting a bunker or two before it's done. Medevacs are getting target fired by these Stalkers, which is a brilliant maneuver. They are force multipliers for this bio. Tank on the high ground for Kawaiian, and can he do this thing? SCV is forced to retreat from this 3rd base location. The command center itself is under assault, but SCV is repairing it from the ground. Immortals trying to crush through here. 6 kills, 5 kills on them, but the SCVs in the front meat shielding for the bio. Kawaiian thinks he can go back in, which I do not think was a great choice for him, as that orbital command is directly on fire and bleeding heavily. Get the repair. Kawaiian does get the repair there. Big old storms all over this bio. It doesn't necessarily kill them in one storm, but it weakens them to the point the Stalkers hit a lot harder. When you only have 5 hit points, a Stalker hit is likely enough to just murder you straight up. Pro tip from Falcon Paladin. Fleet Beacon. Yeah, Blinky transitioning into some Sky Toss. He's got a couple Void Rays coming on in, although we've seen this. We've seen Protoss players trying to go Sky Toss against Terran. Doesn't usually end up well for the Protoss player. I guess I can say that without spoiling too much about my previous casts. Alright, so Blinky decides it's time to head out. The music changes, and he says, you know what? We're going to go home. Oh, don't lose your High Templar because they're slower than everybody else. No, 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 High Templar. Okay, that one survives. His brother did get killed behind him, though, which will be a source of much PTSD for him in the coming days, which is something we should really think about, actually. Each one of these is sort of a person. Maybe not really a person, but could be thought of that way, I suppose. All right, Blinky, you got 2 Stargates, you got a Fleet Beacon. You're doing absolutely nothing with either of those. You're expanding, which is good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases for Blinky. Trying to land a 4th base here is Kawaiian, too. +3 infantry weapons coming in for Kawaiian and Tempest. Oh, Blinky, no. No, 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 no. I know. It works sometimes. It's not a 100% failure rate, but I'm not a fan of Tempest against Liberator. I'm just not. Yeah, they have the range. Yeah, they do some damage. They just don't do enough damage quickly enough. Liberator, speak of the devil. Oh, great blink by Blinky. Ooh, maybe not good enough, though. Stalkers trying to get rid of 2 attacks here on the natural base and the 4th base. Can the Stalkers get there is the question, and yes, they do. Tempest show up, but too late to the party. Come on, Tempest. Earn your keep. You know how expensive those big glowing ball things are? You're carrying around all the time? Expensive. 167 and 130 total supply. Blinky is up. Looking strong. Got the High Templar for the Storm. Got the Tempest for the Liberators. And Kawaiian is pretty much doing what he's been doing. Marines, Marauders, Liberators. A couple tanks in the mix here too, continuing to get upgrades. And there's a Mothership morphing for Blinky. Here at this 4th base location, do like to see a good Mothership. That's our glowing, floating jellyfish, Jonas the Jellyfish. Hanging out. He's so cool. I want a floating, glowing orange jellyfish for my home. I'm sure it wouldn't cause any problems. This Void Ray. Oh, the Void Ray found the drop. Get out of there, Medevac. Oh, the feedback and the storm and the cannon and the Void Ray was too much. Oh, that was too much. as it turns out. Marauders are stimmed and marching their way somewhere. To take this on like a watchtower on the right side. Which again, nobody should have it. Maybe we should have it. Maybe we should have it, says the 2 Marauders and the Marine. Suppose we could. Something we could do. Man, they're more intimidating when they're up close like that. Adepts comes in. What's going on? Oh, hi. It's everybody. Man, those Adepts have so much armor. Remember, could you get that upgrade that gave them even more armor than they already have? And like Adept rushes with armor upgrades were a thing. That was early in Legacy of the Void. I'm not sure even if it made it into the final release of LOTV, but they were good, man. They just would not. I mean, even more than this. That's 4 guys with full upgrades and stim, and it takes them like 7 hits to kill a single Adept. Blinky coming on in here. Good concave from Kawaiian. Where are his High Templar? I honestly don't know where his High Templar are. He could have used some storms there. They're behind the rest of the army. Storming this group at the back, who is really just overconfident right now, I think. As they are dead. Because most of Blinky's army was right there. Guardian Shield up. That's probably a slip of the finger from Blinky. If I had to guess, he's got +2 armor and +1 attack. Is he working on? No, just getting armor for everything. He wants survivability. Not necessarily damage done, which I'm not sure I can really fully agree with, I guess, is how I would explain that. All right, Marines Marauders from Kawaiian up here at this 5th base of Blinky. There is almost nothing here to defend. And that means everything dies, is what it means. Recalls back to the 4th. Does Blinky, recognizing what a threat this army is. And dropping here in the natural base too is Kawaiian. He's really doing a great job. Killing what he can, taking advantage of the fact that Blinky's army is pretty slow and immobile. So gonna lose this Nexus. It was pretty much a mined out base anyway. It's more of a psychological thing, and losing the Chrono Boost for Blinky. Blinky chasing Kawaiian's army away. But there's still army inside his base, which is really not good. Templar Archives might go down. In fact, it will. Some Zealots here without charge trying to deal with this. Zealots do have the armor. They're hard to kill, and these Marines and Marauders are basically ignoring him. Meanwhile, there is the storm that Blinky's been needing. Excellent storms there. Everybody really hurt. Oh, if the Zealots had charge, it'd be a little bit better for Blinky, but he wins that fight. He does, and I think this might be turning into a bit of a base race. Both players have pretty significant armies at the other's main bases. Oh, the storms from Blinky, though. Oh, no. Kawaiian's army on the other side of the map just got fairly well decimated. Still alive, still got a medevac to heal. This cannon really wants them to get in range, though. But, oh, they just stimmed again. Are you kidding? So low on HP. Kawaiian, on the other hand, gonna lose his 4th base. No saving this. There's an Oracle mixed in here too. I mean, if it's a base race, it's one of the weirdest base races I have ever seen. Probes getting destroyed, pylons going down. I mean, look at how low HP these dudes are. 17 hit points, 13 hit points, 11 hit points. It's just very poor going here. Trying to defend here is Kawaiian. Is there any storm available? I almost feel like you need some. There it is. There's the storm, and a time warp goes down. Is it enough to hold? Kawaiian can't retreat very well. That's one of the better time warps I've ever seen in StarCraft 2, which just goes to show time warp isn't often used extremely well. But Blinky made it happen to these guys. 10 hit points on that Marauder. I mean, someone could look their way and they would be killed, is what happen there. Another Nexus gone. There's one Nexus remaining here for Blinky. He's sitting on 1,000, 3,000 resources. So if he can remake here, maybe even just a big charge lot army would be pretty good. As Kawaiian's going to be confined to his main base sooner rather than later. He does pick up and boost out, decides not to engage here at home, and decides to base race instead, which, considering there are Tempest, I don't know. I don't know if you want to do that, actually. Meanwhile, Terran army of Marauders is still here. This poor medevac's trying to heal as much as she can, but that is not a whole lot. That is not a whole lot of things. Army for Kawaiian wants to get rid of this 4th base for Blinky. Can he do it is the question. He's pushing right on in. There are cannons defending. There are gateways here, but they're not warp gates yet. cannons, photon overcharge going to be a thing. Not enough energy on this mothership for a photon overcharge, but I'm not sure that Kawaiian knew that. The main base is just getting slowly whittled down by this Marauder group. 9 kills, 5 kills, 6 kills, 8 kills, 5 kills, 9 kills. Oh, some Tempests showed up. That's bad. That's real bad for these guys. Nah, they got a pro before they died. That's good for them. Don't come back this way. He's got to deal with the cannon or the Tempest, man. Ah, now you're dead. Yep, single Marauder lands, gets killed by the cannon. Another attack from the right side by Blinky. Zealots here to assist. They don't have charge. I thought they did. Why did I think they got it at some point? Nope, chargeless lots. Not nearly as good as regular charging Zealots at this stage of the game, but that's okay. Kawaiian did manage to take a 4th base during all of this chaos, and he is mining from it. It's 8-0 Harvesters. Yeah, this is a final stand by Blinky. Can he come in and do it with 4 Tempests, an Adept, 10 Zealots, an Immortal, a High Templar, a Warp Prism, and a Mothership? It's going to be a tough sledding, can tell you that much. Yeah, here we go. Showing up a little bit early to the party is Kawaiian. These Zealots dying immediately. That really should have been a little bit better organized by Blinky, but yeah, it's all that you got is Tempests. They are too slow, and these Marines doing what they do best. Burning Protoss forces out of the sky, and that's a rage quit from Blinky. 2 rage quits today. Blinky is defeated, and Kawaiian was victorious. Huh. 2 really incredible games for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed them. I had a great time casting them. Those were just on the edge of my seat the whole time. Once again, it just came down to, do you have a lot of Marines remaining, Kawaiian? Then you're going to be okay. 29,000 resources lost for Kawaiian compared to 38 for Blinky. A lot of dead things. A lot of Nexuses killed. I mean, at least 1, 2, 3 of them in the game. 4 of them in the game. 11 High Templar. 67 Adepts were destroyed. 4 Tempests, but I think that was all towards the end. Anyway, in exchange for 169 Marines, 49 Marauders, 10 tanks, which is a lot of tanks, 15 medevacs, a lot of medevacs. How many were remaining? Only 4. Good medevac killing by Blinky, but it's not enough. Not enough in the end, so got a Terran loss and a Terran win for you today on the channel. Hope you enjoyed it, because I had a great time casting. Whew, it is bedtime, you guys. All right, so that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.